Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the Homesteading Housewife. I am Monica, for those of you that are new to my channel, and today we're going to do just kind of a what's happening on the homestead. It is the 19th, 20th, 19th or 20th of February, and we have a ton of things happening. I haven't done a video for you guys in a couple weeks, and I apologize. It has been pretty darn hectic around here, so let's dive right in to all the fun stuff that we have going on. All right, so the first thing we have are quail eggs. So these came from Purely Poultry. They're the bigger quail, and they will be ready to either butcher or start laying eggs in as little as 6 to 8 weeks. So we're still having chickens, but we are starting off with quail just because it's a quicker turnaround on getting eggs, and we really want some fresh eggs. And then in March, we're going to be getting chicks and starting them, and I'll bring you along for all that. And then as far as the incubator, because I'll get people that asked, first time using it, I will leave it linked. I actually really like it. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't show the humidity, which I know there's ways to fix that, but that's the only thing that I don't like about it. But these will go in lockdown on the 27th, so we have 7 or 8 more days, and I'm going to try to do a video showing me candling them, because when I did it a couple nights ago, you could actually see the baby quail moving in the egg, and it was just so fun. So fun. I love it. I was squealing like a little kid, so I will try to bring you along for that. But that is one thing that has been going on, and they are doing great. Okay, the second thing we have going on, and yes, I have a very sad looking tree. It is a tropical tree that was my mammal's, and I am trying so hard to get it to come back to life, and it is just, it's working against me. And I think now I've overwatered it. First I was underwatering it and keeping it too cold, and now I think I overwatered it. So it's green, but other than that, I'm having a hard time. But it has to be inside because it's too cold for it anywhere else, and I actually think it's too cold for it in my house. But anyway, so if you see that, that's not part of my garden. It's just something I'm trying to bring back to life. But so real quick, this is actually what I got to brood the baby quail and my baby chicks when I get them. I'm going to get a second one. My husband actually got it for me for Valentine's Day, and I'm super excited because it's one of the ones that has the radiant heat underneath versus having a grow light. To see how that works, I'm really excited about it because I absolutely despise heat lamps. And if you followed me at all, the last couple times I've brooded chicks, I've actually done it with different methods instead of this or a heat lamp. So if you want like a super DIY, I have those videos, I think, on my channel. And they worked. But let's talk about all the things growing. So this tray is nothing but herbs, and it's not all the herbs I'm growing, but it is some of the ones. I have all the ones that take a really long time to grow, like lavender and mint and rosemary and thyme, tarragon, sage, and then back here are just herbs I really, really like, and I really just wanted them now, and they're going to go in my windowsill. So we have cilantro, we have fennel, we have dill, 2 different types of dill, and then we have, this is sweet marjoram right here that's growing. We have lavender. I think I have, what are you? We have some holy basil, which is part of my herb garden. And then these are all still like trying to grow. So my tarragon hasn't started yet, and my wild thyme hasn't started, and chives haven't started. So I may have to replant the chives, but those are doing amazing. And then this is all flowers. I did flowers this year. These 2 don't have anything in it. Actually, yeah. These 2 don't have anything. This row right here is albino peppers because I forgot to plant them. So they're right here. So this row here is peppers. And then we have some ornamental grass. We have, that needs lifted up a little bit, foxglove, zinnias. I have hydrangeas planted, black flower, dahlia, which I have one of those coming up, and then hollyhocks. I have those trying to come up, and it needs watered. These lights I love. They actually come on a stand. They are super awesome. And they even have a remote where this is kind of a tight squeeze sometimes, so I can easily just remote control set them on and off, and it's awesome. So that's those. And then down here on the bottom, let's move our stuff out of the way. We have the sweet potatoes that I am growing slips out of, and they were doing really well on my windowsill until it got really cold, and then they kind of stunted a little bit. So I put them back underneath the grow light, and I'm hoping to bring them back to life. But the ones back here are doing amazing. The ones up here are just starting to get little sprouts. And one of the things I think I did wrong, well, it says you can cut them in half, but I have a relative, and she was saying that she actually just kept them whole and stuck the pointed side down and had the fat side up. And I kind of think I'm going to do that next year, because the fat side is growing really well and all of my pointy ends are not. So there's that. You live and you learn. And then here we have, hold on and I will tell you, it's all peppers. Okay. These are all spicy peppers, and these are all sweet peppers. We are really upping our pepper game. And here is my setup, because I have these lights that are held on by double-sided tape. They work really well. I used them last year. The only thing is I have no way to bring them down to my plants. So instead, I bring my plants up to them. And they actually, I need to get more bricks. I'm going to do one more layer of brick to put these right up where they need to be so that nothing gets leggy. I'm doing that later today. But as they grow, I'll just take away a brick until eventually they're just sitting on the shelf. But tons and tons and tons of peppers. They will be frozen, dehydrated, put in salsas, making spice mixes. It's going to be amazing. And they're starting to grow. We have some sprouts. And I think I even have some sprouts. I have one right there. So that's going to be fun. That's something else we've been doing. Okay, so I made a makeshift greenhouse. This was, you've seen it a couple years ago. This was a 3-tier, 3 shelves on each side, and it came from Aldi's, and it was wonderful. But over the years, the metal has rusted, so now it's a lot shorter, but it still works. And I want to make sure I keep all of that heat in there. But we have cauliflower and broccolini, and then we have a big tray of salad bowl mix, and then we have the kale, spinach, and Swiss chard. And then here I made this entire bed garlic, and you can see even after I added all of this straw just to give it some extra insulation, it loves it. It's straw and hay. But we have tons of garlic coming up, and this was all garlic that was store-bought. So I didn't pay hardly anything for it, and it seems to all be sprouting. Now, this is currently a hot mess express, but so many things are happening. So for those that have watched me a while know that something got in and killed my entire flock. So we have super ghetto reinforced this whole setup, the whole run right here. And then this whole new coop that I haven't actually been able to use a lot, it got all reinforced. And then we're bringing out the run all here. And so we just have to finish getting all of that closed. And then we're going to have a little hole right here so that they can just come out and frolic and whatnot while also being safe. And then this hot mess is where the quail coop is actually going to be. It's just like a whole bunch of random materials from my yard and woods and stuff that we're using for free instead of having to buy new. So it's taking a little bit of time, but we're getting there. And also, I found this storm door, and I am going to use it. I don't know how I'm going to use it yet, but it's going to be part of either the chicken area or the quail area because I love it. Let's try to get some extra light. Well, hello. Okay, so the other thing that I have been working on is this pantry. Trying to walk back over here. Is to get the pantry dealt with, which I have pretty much gotten it to the point that I wanted it to be. We have a bunch of empty jars. I have more empty jars on the ground, and so now it's just a matter of organizing said jars to really get a count of what we have, what I need and don't need, which, as I said in a previous pantry video, I need it all. And I already know I need it all, but I am getting ready to clean out my deep freezers. We ordered a cow last week and it'll be ready at the end of March, and I need all the freezer space because it's going to be a big boy. And I will, of course, bring you along for all that. And I actually have done a video before on how to purchase like a whole beef or half beef or quarter beef. So if you want to learn more about that, I have that video. But I needed all the empty jars and just everything. I needed room and space because we are going to be doing stock, chicken, turkey stock. Like that's pretty much all. I have a small 5 or 7 cubic foot freezer, and it is just filled with turkey. It's from where I processed and separated and then didn't have time to do anything with it, so I just froze it in gallon bags. And then we have more turkey, chicken legs, like all that garb. So more stock, more chicken to can. Got to get it all done and out of the freezer. I need to defrost the freezer and clean it out because they're both chest freezers. So they have the ice buildup. Got to get all that taken care of. But I did want to show you kind of how it's still not done. And I still have stuff that needs to be taken to Goodwill and or trash. But for the most part, we have a nice pantry coming along. So this here is just a bunch of random junk that has to get gone through. So ignore that. It's all going to be like paper storage, toilet paper storage, and stuff like that. And then we have this shelf that needs organized. All of this, that's trash, but all of this is the 5-gallon buckets and 3-gallon buckets, just needs organized. And the Christmas tree is going on this side. All this needs organized. This is all empty jars, and then just some random canning stuff. And then this is what has these little totes that I was telling you about. And then this, of course, needs gone through. And then I have another one of these that's going to go right here. And then that way I'll have this side and we'll have this side. All of these need dumped. It got way too hot and they are just, I don't feel comfortable eating them because my papa had control of the heater and he had it way too hot for the canned goods. So they're all getting dumped. And then some of them are stuff my mamaw canned from like 2013. So all that's getting dealt with. But then like this all, if you saw it last time, it was atrocious. So the fact that I can even walk in here is a blessing. And then we have this little thing I got going on that's just more storage. So full disclosure, It's still a hot mess, but we're getting there. We're just whittling away at it. And honestly, that's really all you can do when you're gifted an old house that has just been storage for a lot of people. So it's just something that I'm continuing to work on and using you all as moral support to get it all done. But that's what I've been doing. It's been a lot of getting spring garden ready, getting garden beds ready, chicken stuff ready, quail stuff ready, pantry ready, and then of course now getting the freezers ready so that we can get our moo-moo, right? Right. He's excited about that. So that's really all that has been happening over the past couple weeks. Just a lot of planting, a lot of planning, organizing, and just getting things ready for all of spring, all the plants, all the animals, and food for the freezer. But I hope it inspired you. If you haven't started, my cat is going crazy. If you haven't started planting your garden yet, go ahead and throw some seeds in the ground. Even if you just live in an apartment and you have a windowsill, you can still grow stuff. I have done it, and it is just so rewarding, even to have just one plant that you grew yourself and you get to benefit from. It's an amazing feeling. So stay tuned. I will have some new recipes coming out because, like I said, I had a couple weeks of just dealing with house stuff and planning stuff, so I'm ready to get back into making some recipes. We have the cow that'll be coming, and I will bring you along for that and how I organize the freezer. We have tomatoes we will be planting, and I'll bring you along for that. Everyone loves planting tomatoes.
What did Kata say?
I don't know. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. I hope everyone has a wonderful Monday.